All right, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your master of mm, martial arts, magical martial arts. Well, not so much. But today is Saturday. It is Shaolin Saturday. And we are going to be talking about the seminal and influential 1983 movie Zoo Warriors from the Magic Mountain. This was directed by Choi Hawk. And I first learned about it, and I want to say off the Incredibly Strange Film Show, which, was like in 1990, maybe, or even later. But it was a great show to introduce you to some incredibly interesting things. And I wanted to see it. I don't think I saw the full thing for a couple more years, and then I haven't seen it since then because it really didn't make a lot of sense. You have to know, where it's from, how it was written, etc., and so on, which we'll go into a little bit. It was released February 5th, 1983. It runs 98 long minutes. Yeah, that's about right. And apparently it was filmed, or it wasn't shot in Cantonese, of course, because silent films, Hong Kong, didn't use sync sound until the 90s. Be that as it may, it was influential, apparently, and I could see it had some influence on Big Trouble in Little China, but we'll get into that. So, having said all that, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about Zoo Warriors from the Magic Mountain and whether it belongs in a kung fu category, which your humble agent does not believe it does, even though there are martial arts in it. But we'll see. All right, let's roll. Okay, so this copy I watched was subtitled. However, the subtitles would show up a second or two or three or four after the dialogue had been spoken. So you had to get used to that. They are easily readable, which is nice because the first time I watched it, it was in those hard coded, printed on film subtitles, which were white, and sometimes the white on white, you just lost it. So the movie is based on the Shansha novel Legend of the Swordsman of the Mountains of Shu, or Zhu, by Huanzhu Lushu. I'm sorry, I just murdered that, and I apologize. It's a 1932 wuxia movie, or book. It runs 7,227 pages. I'd kind of like to read it, sort of. So the problem is that they've condensed it down to a 98-minute movie, and you have to be more familiar with the characters than I ever you could hope to. Yes, Western eyes could hope to be. They have made, let's see, two movies about it. The Legend of Zoo, which I sort of watched, it seems like, but I don't remember anymore. But in 1990, The Gods and Demons of Zoo Mountain, The Zoo Mountain Saga, 1991, and Legend of Zoo Mountain, 2015. So they've made three more series about it, which might be a better way to go about watching this movie because they cram a lot into a little bit of time. The first two-thirds are really back and forth, hard to follow, and I mean even with subtitles. But they talk about the Zoo Mountains there, and then we get introduced to it. And the 5th century, 16th kingdom, and there is Yen Biao, who is the main character. Really, he's the one that the audience aspires to. Is giving his report to the Blue Zoo or East or what, I don't know. They're in blue. This guy, they have a discussion, a frank exchange of ideas. He gets run off. They try to kill him. He finds a junk there to jump onto to get away, and Sammo Hung is in there. So these two who know kung fu, can do martial arts, do some, and it's fun to watch, but it's very undercranked, so it's sped up so much as to be almost, well, I found it ridiculous. It just, the Shaw, those 70s and 80s, yeah, they undercranked a bit to make it look faster, but this was just so. But they're funny. These two have great chemistry. They know each other, and they do a great job here. Then the Yellow Zoo show up, and they get away from them, and they're like they know each other because they live across the stream or something. So yeah, they'd be friends if they weren't. So they, yeah, there's yellow and blue and green and red, all fighting northeast, south, and west. And there you go. So our heroes there have to fake each other, pretend to be dead. That wasn't it. I should have got the L7 reference there, but that doesn't work. They almost get caught, but um, Samo sacrifices himself, so we think, to save Biao there, and off they go. He's got Samo's water bottle, which is a central point here. He ends up in this scary, super scary, haunted with vampires, apparently, as you can see their wide, glowing eyes. So right now is when all of the editing starts, the fast editing, the zooming. You can't really get a good look at anything or get a good screenshot of it. And the swordsman shows up, who is let's see, I think Adam Cheng. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. Forgive me. But he is above everything. He just wants to. They're out to. He's trying to stamp out evil. He does not really worry about it. So he gets teamed up with two monks. Well, let's see if we can find out who these people are now. Nope. So maybe we'll get to it. But they show up. They don't like each other because they can't. Yeah, they argue, and so the evil disciples. Now, the evil disciple leader is Corey Yen Kwai himself, also a member of the seven Yens or seven fortunes. Yeah, at least that's his voice. Special effects start. I mean, real special animated stuff. So it looks. I mean, it was a big budget thing, I would assume, and because Wiki doesn't say. More fighting, more special effects, and they can't work together still. So pick a direction. Then they all end up back together. The younger monk likes the soldier. That's what we're going to call him. That Yen Biao is the soldier, younger. But they keep ending up back together because there's vampires here. And what is this? Yeah. See, it's a disaster. They don't work together. I'm going to go through this quickly because I'm probably never going to watch this movie again. I'll be honest with you. I liked it enough, but I don't know, a good dub would have helped. Their long brows shows up. See, and we don't know who these people are, why he has long eyebrows. One of them's possessed, and there is the demon who's going to be released if they don't stop him. The girl wonder, Li Ai Chi, and that is Judy Ong, and she's got the twin swords. So, and the Kun Lun, I wonder if he has the iron fist, because the elder monk thinks he's going to die. His blood has been poisoned. So off they take him. Master Ding or Ting, that is Adam Cheng. Okay, so that's the swordsman. Things happen, more special effects. This gets her head chopped off. And now we're getting. Yeah. So I believe they call her the Countess in the subtitles, but that is Bridget Lin as the Ice Queen. And just beautiful sets. I mean, it's a beautiful movie. They just fly around on wires so much. The wire fu, I believe this is what started the wire fu, which would later show up much, into the 90s, far more. But the special effects are nice. It reminds me of Holy Flame of the Martial World, things like that, which I believe also are based on novels. Like The Brave Archer is a huge amount of novels. It was 4 movies long with Fu Sheng, and that one was hard to follow too. I've watched like the first 3, and I don't remember anything about it at all. I'll look into that again. Yeah, actually, let's see. Yeah, they do a lot of the prosthetic things that you've seen in American Werewolf in London or any of that sort of thing. So you can see where there's some stuff that Big Trouble took from it. Again, Big Trouble's an easier movie to follow, that's for sure. And she freezes people. She's the the Ice Queen, Bridget Lin. It might be Moon Lee, who's one of the Ice Queen guards. There's Bridget Lin. So the guys are trying to, I don't know, get food or get in, but he drops his trousers, drops her trousers. And that's the Ice Queen there, Bridget Lin, and with Adam Cheng, and they kind of like each other. And that would be Moon Lee there. So not neither of those are Lady Yi Chi. Yeah. So there's comedy in here, which is really nice. The movie does get much better in the last third. I really like the last third because they can, everything, you've got all this out of the way, you could get to the gist of the matter. So yeah. I really don't. I mean, yeah, I'm not taking students, but he gives him his one of his swords. Someone is in trouble. Long eyebrows there, but his poison is spreading and kill me. He doesn't kill him. Guess what? Spoiler alert. So even yeah, they were supposed to kill him and he didn't. So guess what happens? Help her quick. So like I said, the special effects are great. It's just that the editing is so, what they used to call the MTV style, so quick and so fast that you don't really get a good look at things too much. But it does slow down again here toward the last third, even the last half. We're going to kill him. So special effects are fun. It's nice to see him. She freezes the whole place and to try to stop the evil from getting out, but he does. So there's Moon, and they're going to team up together. So the three of them. She's crying, and the monk doesn't know what to say, and he admits it. So off they go to find the Heaven's Blade Peak immediately. So again, comedy. It does move in a hurry. I did like it. Don't get me wrong. But if I hadn't seen it, I haven't seen it for 25 years. If it's another 25 years, your humble agent will be of a far elderly vintage and probably not in the mood. So there is that. It would be who is that? Heaven's Blade, Norman Chu, who does a great job. So here's where we get, into the gist of the matter. And yeah, he thinks that they won't be able to succeed to stop the deadly demon, devil disciple demon, because they kept kissing her accidentally. So, I mean, the three of them had a really good chemistry as well. So, if they'd have just condensed it a little more instead of, I don't even know. He's evil. Heaven's Blade is there. And so we got a whole thing about passing from this generation to the next generation to keep things good. Special effects, great potential, magnetic force. The monk's a coward. What do you do here? They're safe. So are they? And there we have Judy Ong as Lady Lai Yi Chi. Trying to see if what else she's been in, maybe if I've seen any of it. Cyborg 009. Really? Underground Duel. She's Japanese. All right. Taiwanese, Japanese singer, actress. Okay. So she probably spoke Cantonese and Japanese. So that figures. More special effects. The guys get new costumes. And they have to unite the swords or cross the streams. So now they know what to do. They're communicating telepathically. Nice, called it Superman. They worry about being a girl because there's some sexism here. Sorry. And Moon there tries to stop them. Well, the west, east, northeast, west, south are all fighting together. And so yeah, I mean, you see double swords there. They do. I'm trying to think of where I've seen something like that. I mean, but the total eclipse of the sun. He sacrifices himself. Unite the twin swords. Kaboom! They finally figure out the blood demon. That's who that was. Tin Ying, you've fallen too deep. Okay, so they pass on. the Ting Ying and the Countess, or the Ice Queen, they go on. They defeat the Blood Demon, and Longbrows is still alive. Yen Biao calls to Samo, and off he goes. And there's our heroes. That's it. Again, the movie's 97 minutes, and it's got so much into it. I don't know. I wanted to like it more because it was so influential, but I like that picture. So, that's our Shaolin Saturday, probably one of the shorter ones. And let me know what you think about the movie. Leave a comment. And until tomorrow, where we will probably be talking about Gorgo, maybe not. I also have Goldface the Fantastic Superman ready to go too. Oh, I'm ahead of myself. I'm ahead of my time. Until then, this is X7 signing off and phasing out.
The peaceful valleys of Sichuan, China are bounded by an ancient and mysterious mountain range, where long ago there raged great wars, not between man and man, but between man and demon. This is the tale of one such hero, sent forth from another time to seek out a great weapon, to challenge the mystic forces of evil, to save his fated lover, and to battle for the future of the mortal world. From the visionary genius who brought you Peking opera blues and the classic series Once Upon a Time in China, comes the original fantasy masterpiece that dazzled a generation. The film that started it all. Breathtaking, spellbinding, a quest that spans the infinite reaches of time and space. A love story that transcends history, memory, and even fate. A film that explodes the barriers of the imagination. Yuan Biao, Bridget Lin, Damien Lau, Moon Lee, Judy Ong, Adam Cheng, and Sammo Hung. Prepare yourself for an adventure like you've never seen. Choi Hark's Zoo, Warriors from the Magic Mountain. Available now on video cassette.